Hey, hola, bonjour, ça va? Hey, it's the Lost Canuck, your everyday average barbecue kind of guy. Hey, here in Wisconsin, it's almost the 4th of July. So our neighbors usually get together and we shoot off some fireworks and have some good food. So for this year, I'm going to treat them and I'm going to make a brisket to throw into the mix. So, as you can see, I got my cooking hat on, so we're going to cook up this brisket. First, we got to prep it. So, we're going to take this brisket. It's 17.1, it's a little over 17 pounds. After I trim it up, it'll be maybe 15 pounds. Anyways, we're going to take this prime beef brisket that I picked up at Costco a few months ago, and we're going to turn it into this juicy, tender, succulent, delicious, bark-worthy brisket. So, stay tuned. Okay, so lots of you guys know how to trim a brisket. So if you do, fast forward through this stuff and let's move on to the smoking. And by the way, I'm going to use my Lone Star Grillz 42-inch pellet smoker. It's the smokiest pellet smoker out on the market. I'm also going to use a special wood chip pellet blend, which you can do on the Lone Star up to 50%. I want lots of bark on here. And when I do that, it rivals stick burning to, flavor. So I'm going to put some Smokin pecan pellets in with 50% wood chips, but I'll show you when I get out to the barbecue barn doing that. So this thing's pretty juicy. So got my gloves on. So we're going to trim her up. I'm using my DripEZ tub. Now if the videographer wants to zoom in on this meat a bit, it's in the cryovac pack. It's a prime brisket, so the marbling, I don't know if you can see that, the marbling looks pretty decent on here. And again, I don't want to slice my hands open, so we'll just get the plastic off. Alright, so through the magic of technology, the cryovac pack is magically gone and the brisket's into my prep tub here. So I'm just going to pat the surface off. So what we're going to do is trim it first. I'm going to trim it to get a nice aerodynamic shape. Get rid of some of these weird fat globs. Okay, so this, so all this trimming, by the way, I'm going to save. And I'm going to make tallow out of it later. Or grind it for burgers or whatever. I'm going to keep it though. So this end muscle here usually burns up, so that's why I cut that off. And then when you're trimming, you can see the grains of the meat on the top. So I'm going to take, you just want to follow the grains. I just took this out of the freezer and put it in the fridge so it trims easier. Okay, we're going to cut this sharp, pointy part off, make it round. Probably like that. And then where this really thin part's going to burn, so I'll just trim that like that. Because it's good. Nothing wrong with it. Make good hamburgers. Okay. So actually I'm going to take this, just put it on a tray for now. And then I'll bag it up and put it in the freezer later. No, I'm not a professional meat trimmer by any means. So don't slag me too bad in the comments. I'm trimming this for eating, I'm not doing a brisket competition. But this is oxidized meat, so we're gonna just cut that off. That sometimes happens. Hello, Fluffy. That's my cat meowing. I'm not sure if you can hear him. And he's upset because the dog ate all of his food. Okay, so that looks pretty decent. There, you don't want to make too big of a divot or you'll get all your oil hanging up in there. So I'm going to take this mohawk on this side off. Then if you cut too much, you know, it's not going to, see like what I just did there? It's not going to hurt anything because we're going to wrap this later anyways. Okay, so just try and take it down as close as you can to 1/4 inch. Now, I've seen guys use brisket knives for this too, like for the final cutting of it. You can use a brisket knife if you want. I'm just using my little Shun boning knife. See, I made a divot there too. Oops. So you got the flat, and you got the point. Now typically the point, you know, it's the juicier part, the flat's the drier part. So you leave a little more, I like to leave a little more fat on this end. But now I'm going to put some binder on and then get our rubs on, so stay tuned. Okay, now that we have it all trimmed up and aerodynamic, we're going to put some binder on. Now you don't have to use binder. If you hate binder, you don't believe in binder, you think binder's fake, don't use it. I'm using it because it's my personal preference. So I like to try W sauce by Bear & Burton. This is really yummy stuff, okay? And again, you can season it up however you like using your favorite rubs. I'm not stopping you from doing that either. I'm just showing you I'm using a binder and some seasonings. Don't have to use a binder. You can put seasonings straight on it. I think this just enhances the taste a little bit. Maybe it's in my head. Probably is. I got lots of stuff in my head. But there we go. I'm just going to try and coat the surfaces up the best. Now, some guys use mayo and do mayonnaise binder, which maybe I'll try someday. It sounds interesting. Maybe that adds some more flavor. But this W sauce, after it soaks in for a while, gives it a nice little zip. Okay, so you want to do the ends, sides, and then both the other side too. You're going to get the trimmed side off. I put this on the, I'm almost out. The first layer, now again, you can do it however you like. This is how I like to do it. So I ran out of my own salt pepper mix, which I usually mix at 50-50. So I'm going to use this SuckleBusters salt pepper garlic. I like this stuff too. This will be the base layer. It's really a nice mix. A lot of garlic in it. I like it. Then flip your brisket over and do the other side. And then we're going to top it with Season It All Texas style. So the salt, pepper, garlic really helps your bark, and then this Season It All gives it a nice flavor. So we got the base layer of salt, pepper, garlic. I don't know if you got a close-up of this stuff, but it's Bolner's Season It All. And if you're down in Texas, you'll see a lot of it on the shelves. Now, there's lots of other seasoning salts down there too. This just happens to be one of the more popular ones. I'm going to get up really early in the morning, get this on the pit, and I don't know if you can see my shirt, but it's probably going to take about 18 hours for this cook. Minimum, usually 20 when I'm all said and done. So we'll get this on the pit bright and early, and then I've got a warming oven that I'll hold it in after everything's cooked. And we will enjoy this on the 4th of July. So I have it seasoned. I'm going to pull this up, put the lid on this, let it dry brine in my fridge overnight, and throw it on the pit in the morning. So I'll see you guys down at the pit. Lost Canuck out. Hey, it's the Lost Canuck. Well, we're down here in the barbecue barn, and not doing any cooking, so I don't have my cooking hat on right now. But we're going to make ourselves up a good smoking brisket mix. So this is only for you Lone Star guys. I'm going to go a 50-50 blend of Smokin pecan pellets, which happen to just be the smokiest pellets out on the market, and use a 50-50 scoop blend by volume. And that's all you do it. I know you've seen me do it in the past, but for any of you new subscribers or new guys to the channel, you just take your pellets, take your wood chips, mix them up in a bowl like this till they look 50-50. And you dump them in your container. And you keep going. That's all there is to it. I'll do it one more time. Just take a nice level scoop. Just like that. If you want a scoop like this, just check out my links below. So I've got my Smokinlicious wood chips here. These are Minuto size number 4. And these happen to be Hickory. Okay, because I had some left over. Okay, it's well mixed. You just keep doing that until you run out of pellets. All right, well, I'll see you when it's time to throw the brisket out on the smoker, and I'll see you out there. Hey, it's the Lost Canuck, your everyday average barbecue kind of guy. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is July 3rd. It's about noon. I'm ready to throw the brisket on the pit. I have my I did my 50-50 Smokin pecan pellets, the smokiest pellet you can, and some hickory chips from Smokinlicious. I just about done them, so thought I'd do a 50-50 blend. So we're loaded up. Have the pit set at 225, and it's a scorcher here today in Wisconsin. It's actually about 90 out here and humid. Well, for us in Wisconsin, that's hot. You guys down in Texas, that's a cool fall day for you guys. But anyways, we're gonna smoke this up Texas style. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put it on my top rack. I've got a little drip pan put in the bottom, and we're gonna let her sit there in the smoke for a couple hours before I even think about spritzing it. And then I'm gonna spritz it a little bit. Oh, and in my drip pan, I didn't do it right now, but I will in a bit. I'm going to throw some apple cider vinegar in the bottom just to let that steam in there as well. All right, so let's get this brisket on. Let's take a look. It's been dry brining overnight. Ooh, boy, that sure looks good. Got my season it all, plus my salt and pepper and garlic. So I think the neighbors will be happy with this one. Okay, I'm going to put the point towards the hot end and the flat towards the cooler end, okay? All right, oh, and the fat cap is on this side. So the fat cap on my pit, everybody's pit's different, will face down. All right, there we go. Just adjust that. And I'm going to probe this this brisket with my RFX system. Almost forgot that. My videographer reminded me. Thank you, videographer. I'm going to use 2 sets of probes. I'm going to use I'm going to use 2 sets of probes. I've got my RFX system right here. I got to turn my gateway on. And I'm going to put this one in the point, in the thickest part. So probably like this. Right about there. Okay. Alright, so the green one's up front. We'll do one down in the flat, just to monitor the thin part. Okay, so I got my RFX probes in. I'm also going to throw in my my FireBoard pulse probe. Why not? Give her a little test. We'll put that in the point. Set at 225. You can see the smoke rolling on this thing. And again, my pit, smokiest pit out on the market, Lone Star Grillz 42-inch pellet smoker. I got my 50-50 wood chip Smokin Pecan mix in here. And this thing's going to take at least 20 hours to cook, okay? So we're going to hit her with lots of smoke, nice and low, and then we'll wrap it later. All right, I'll see you when it's time to spritz. Lost Canuck out. Hey, well, it's your friendly neighborhood Lost Canuck back at the Lone Star pit, smoking that brisket for July 4th tomorrow. It's been a couple hours. I'm going to do a little spritz. The surface is probably dry enough now. Just take a look. And what I like to do is I'll just pull this out a bit. Yeah, feel it. The rub's not, there's a couple of wet spots, but it doesn't look too bad. So we'll give her a little spritz. And I'm using apple cider vinegar and some lemon juice. When you spritz it, you're just adding some moisture to the surface that the smoke likes to stick to. Now, some guys don't spritz their briskets, they just let them ride. And I respect them. I'm just doing it this way because this is how I've always done it. All right, well, let's put the brisket back in. Put our drip tray in. Now there's apple cider vinegar in there too. And I'm getting continuous readings from my temp probes. So it's telling me the point's right around 89 degrees. And I know the flat's a little hotter. It's probably about 110. So as it gets warmer and warmer on the flat, what I'm going to do is I'll turn it around, let the point, let the flat cool down a little bit, and just let it cook evenly. So that was in 2 hours. So another 2 hours from now, I'll spritz it, we'll check the internals, and just keep on rolling the smoke. Like I said, this thing smokes like nobody's business. So, especially with the wood chips and the Smokin Pecan pellets. All right, we'll see you the next couple hours. All right, Lost Canuck here. We're back down at the pit. I see a giant thunderstorm going by, so hopefully it doesn't wreck my barbecue tonight. But the internal temp's up to 165 on the brisket. I'm liking how the bark looks, so I'm going to pull it off and wrap it and then let it go the rest of the way. So let's just take a quick peek. I did have some pooling, unfortunately, but the bark looks good to me. So let's grab this. We'll bring it inside and wrap it up. Yeah, that looks like good bark. Good bark to me. Hey, well, we're back in the barbecue lab inside. It's time to wrap the brisket to take it up past the stall. It's stalled pretty good right now. The bark looks great. I'm going to put some tallow down, but first I like to spray my paper a little bit. Let's get it moist so it's pliable. Let's get the tallow on. I'm going to put the brisket right here. I'm going to put a few scoops on the bottom. I'm cheating, I'm using store-bought tallow. Okay, a couple for the bottom. And I'm almost out of, this is that South Chicago Wagyu tallow. I'm almost out, so I'm going to have to use some of this COSTCO tallow. Alright, so I'm going to put the brisket onto the, because I have a dog that really wants me to drop this. Okay, now I'm going to put some tallow on top. So we got our probes positioned. Let's get a little more tallow on here. And we'll throw her back out on the pit. This just keeps it moist. Alright, well, let's wrap this. Alright, so that's how it came off the smoker. It's wrapped. Let's go bring this out. Let's head back out to the pit and get this thrown on and keep cooking. I'll probably have to get up pretty late tonight to take this off and put it in my holding oven. So we'll see you back at the pit when I'll put it on. Alright, well, we're back at the pit. I'm going to throw the wrapped brisket back on and we're going to keep on cooking. I'm going to throw the wrapped brisket back on. There. This way. Okay. Should be good. You can see it's shrunk a bit, so you know it's cooking. And we'll see when it's time to either rotate this, maybe in a couple hours, and then we'll leave it go for a few more hours after that until it hits 203 internal. I don't know if you can see, but there's a lot of lightning out there, so I'm going to close this down and go back in the house. Hey, it's the Lost Canuck. Well, it's very late at night, and oh, it's bedtime. Anyways, the brisket has reached an internal temperature of 201 degrees, okay? The point's a little hotter. It cooked, I don't know, it reversed itself. So the point's about 204, the flat's about 201. I'm going to pull it, put it in this pan, and put it into my warming oven and leave it sit there overnight until it's time to slice it up tomorrow for the 4th of July festivities. So let's pull this thing off, shut my smoker down, and it's still smoky even at 300 degrees. Ooh. Yeah. Well, I just made a giant mess. That I'll have to clean up tomorrow, I guess. I'm going to put this in shutdown mode. Okay, we're at my little Vever warming oven. And I've got it set at 150, and I'm just going to throw the brisket in. And leave it wrapped up in here overnight. Alright. Okay, so I will see you at the cutting board when it's time to slice this up and bring it over to the neighbors. Good night. Hey, it's the Lost Canuck. Well, we're back upstairs in the barbecue lab after a super long hold on the brisket. It finished last night at, actually this morning at about 1:30 a.m. and it's about 5:30 p.m. So we're going to take our brisket, unwrap it. I've been holding it at 150 and we'll see what we got here. Looks great. I don't know if you can see this or not. That's what it looks like. It's probing pretty nice. Burnt ends are a little tougher. Okay, so let me grab this and put this down. And we'll save the juice. We're going to take this juice and just pour it over the top, keeping it moist. Alright, okay, so there's our brisket. The bark looks good. Looks nice and juicy. So let's cut this thing open. Okay, so let's separate the flat from the point. It's about here, I'd say. Cut into this bad boy and see what it's like. Looks pretty juicy. Moment of truth. Yeah, we got a nice smoke ring on there. It's super juicy. The juices are just drooling out of here like crazy. That's what it looks like. So let's take, wow, yeah, this is juicy. Smells smoky. Let's do a couple slices off the flat. Probably too thick. Okay, so is it cooked? I'd say it's cooked. It's really, I think you're supposed to check with the knife. So let's check. Even that's a super thick piece, so you can see it's really cooked. That's the flat. So let's cut a couple pieces off here. I'm going to take off these gloves. So let me try a piece with this bark on it. You can see it's got a nice little smoke ring on here. If you can see that, it melts in your mouth. Super tasty. Should give the videographer a piece. See if she likes it. Very good, isn't it? Let's do some of the burnt ends. So we'll take the burnt end off here. These little nuggets are some of my favorites. And we'll take this burnt end off here. Now, hopefully the neighbors like it. Yeah, maybe we won't take it over. No, we're taking it over. So there's some of the burnt ends. I'm going to give my videographer a little piece. Again, you can see the smoke ring really clearly on the down on the end. I'll have one. Okay, so there's our burnt ends. There's a slice. I'll slice the flat up here. Okay, and then we'll get some point burnt ends. It's super juicy. My point's starting to fall apart. I held it for a long time. I guess I'll try a piece. So good. Okay, so let's slice up the points. Usually the flat's very tender and juicy, but the points even more tender on a brisket. Although this Shun slicing knife is very good. Some more burnt ends over here. So here's the point. I guess I should sample a piece out of that too. Don't want to eat too much or the neighbors won't get any. So there's a piece out of the point. The fat really rendered down nicely. Okay, I'm going to slice up this flat here in a second. Maybe I'll do that now. Okay, let's do a parting conclusion. So, brisket turned out nice, okay? Moist, juicy. Took about 14 hours to cook, and then I held it for 14 hours. So, long holds, no problem if you have the proper holding oven. I'm going to put this in a metal pan, put some foil on it, bring it over to the neighbor's house. Conclusion, prime beef is probably one of the best. This is from Costco. This is a Costco brisket. Nothing wrong with it. Works out great. Hope you enjoyed the video. I'm up to 327 Instagram followers. Here's my QR code. I'd appreciate it if you followed me over there. I got different content over there all the time. A little different than the YouTube stuff that I put out. Also, if you're interested in anything I used in making the brisket on this video, cutting board, prep stuff, sauces, etc., check out my Lost Canuck barbecue store down below. They're affiliate links. It doesn't cost you anything extra, and it helps the channel. All right, so if you went to buy it at the store or through my affiliate link on Amazon or wherever, same price. All right, so that wraps it up. I'm going to put some more content over here for you guys to check out. Don't forget to like the video. That helps me out a lot. Subscribe if you already aren't subscribed to my channel. And for all you returning subscribers, thanks for watching. Thanks for coming back. Thanks for sticking with me. I really do truly appreciate that. All right, so like I said, I got some more content I'm going to put up over here. And Lost Canuck says, parting shot here, don't forget, be kind to each other. Lost Canuck.